All right. First, let's go ahead and call the meeting to order. And the first thing is that we need to vote on the acceptance or approval of the quarterly meeting from last time, which was in January. And I just went out there and reviewed it today just to make sure I remembered what was in there. So I'm going to call for a motion to approve.
I move that we approve it.
Okay, Sharon, a second. Victor, did you second?
Yeah, I thought I heard somebody already second, but I do second if they didn't.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, minutes from last time are approved. Okay, and I'm going to share the financial report if I can figure out how to do it here.
Let me know if you don't have a share button.
Yeah, I do. I thought I had it pulled up here. I need to figure out files, maybe? No? Basic. Where the heck is it? Okay, let me make sure. Let me close this thing and make sure it is open. It was a... Okay, I think I might have to download it again because no, I know where it is. It's in my Dropbox, downloads, financial statement. Now I should be able to get back over here and start again. Share. Here it is. Okay. And I'm going to turn the discussion over to Sharon.
All right. Excuse me. We started March with $2,447.24 in our two accounts. We had $260 in membership fees that have come in that were deposited in March. $60 were in Venmo membership transfers, and cash and checks was $200. Made 19 cents in interest on the two accounts. So that was a total of $260.19 income. We had the check from GNBAC for membership cleared in mid-March. So that brought the total to $2,647.43. I have one check now from Donna Rice for $30 that has not yet been deposited, that just came in the last few days. So unless there's questions, that's all I have.
Okay. So I should be able to use this same report in Monday's meeting, right?
Exactly, yes, nothing will change.
Okay. Any questions, anybody, for Sharon?
Well, this is PSA related, but it's a finance issue. When is our membership due?
I'll have to look it up, but I think it's due in the fall. I just got messages from PSA for my personal and Sharon's, and they give me like 2 months notice, and I haven't gotten one, but I'll look it up and I'll send you an email. Okay,
well, this is a financial issue that I want to discuss, and it involves PSA. You know, PSA is running that membership drive for 2021 to where annual membership is a certain amount, and if you pay for 5 years, it's like getting 1 year free. Right, Dennis?
Yeah, so I don't know what that comes out to. It's like, what, $45 times?
Well, right now it's $36 a year. So you pay $180, but you get 5 years worth of membership.
Yeah,
and they're only, it's a 2021 thing that I talked to the guy in charge of membership, and he said they're only going to run it for 2021. After that, they're going to go back to whatever they do, or I don't know, based on the financial situation of the organization, they might run it again or something like that. But right now, the intent is not to. So if we were going to take advantage of it, we would need to do it this year.
And it's club memberships the same as a personal membership?
No,
No?
Well,
Oh, it is?
an individual membership, if you go with the digital journal, it's cheaper than if you get a hard copy delivered to you. So that's the only price difference. But if you, an individual membership is X number of dollars at digital, which comes out to $180 for the 5 years. I just signed me and Marty up for 5 years and paid the $180 for both of us. And I looked into what the club rate was, and the club rate is the same as if you were only getting a digital copy, but because we're a club, they do send us a hard copy, one hard copy. And Dennis, are you getting those?
yeah, I am.
Okay.
I'm
So
assuming I'm getting it because I'm getting 2 hard copies and I should only get 1. So one of them is for the club.
yeah, well, when we can meet in person again, you can just drop them off at the library.
But there's no reason why we can't send the digital copy out to all the clubs members.
Okay. I didn't know if there was a copyright issue because we do have some club members that didn't join PSA.
Well, I actually had the guy who's in charge of clubs called me a couple of weeks ago and wanted to know basically, you know, whether we were happy with what was going on or not. And I specifically asked him if we could send the the digital copy out to the club members, and he said yes. So,
Oh, that's awesome.
and Sharon gets a digital copy, so I mean we have a digital copy. Oh, actually, I get it too. I guess if you get the regular one, you get both. So
Okay, well we can.
I just pass it on to Holly, and Holly can send it out.
Hey, okay. Plus, hey Holly,
Yes, sir.
on the Facebook group page, we have a file section, right?
Yes.
And we can load up anything as long as it's less than 100 meg.
I'm not sure what the limit
There-
is. Yeah, we can load up tons of content.
Okay, so we could. What do y'all think about starting to load them up there and pointing people toward it?
Good idea.
Except cannot people who are not actually members of our club read the Facebook page?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
you
thinking
know,
that's not exactly what they were meaning when they said we could share the digital copy with.
No, he means our club members, where the digital copy should go to.
So maybe it just goes out by email from our email address.
The problem with email is I'm sure it's going to be too large.
Yeah,
for
so
email.
Dropbox.
So we would have to,
How come? Why would it be too large? I get a digital copy by email.
don't you get a link to where you can download it? That's all I get.
Maybe that's it. I get an email with a link. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
It comes by email, but yeah.
yeah. The notice comes by email, but it has a link to download a mobile version or a desktop version.
Since we get the paper copies too, we rarely download it because we have
Yeah,
the paper copies. So.
I think it's a good idea to send it out to the membership. It will probably boost interest and get, there's good articles in that thing. All right. Well, anyway, kind of off top.
I wonder if you could just send it using WeTransfer to the membership if it's too large. Because the Dropbox, not everybody has the password to the Dropbox. We use that for
Well, and I don't want to fill the Dropbox up with a bunch of digital copies. I tell you what, if you want, I can take the lead on that. And I just need an updated membership roster with all the emails. And I can start sending it out monthly since Dennis has found out that it's okay.
Okay. Yeah, I can send you the membership list.
Okay. But back to the original point, we kind of got off topic as the best, but do we want to take advantage of getting 1 year for free?
I think it's a good idea. We kind of need to know two things, I suppose. One, when it's due for us, when our payment is due, and then two, when is the offer going to be good for the entire year of 2021, or is there a deadline before the end of 2021?
Okay, so the first step would be for Dennis to go in and check and see what our renewal date is. Because he's the,
I'll do that.
hey, can you hear me? I think I lost audio.
Yes, we can hear
Yeah,
you.
we can hear you.
Okay, good. Let me look at something. Okay. Back when I was the rep, our renewal date was April.
So
So if, I think last year Dennis took it over and got it renewed.
Well, maybe it is April, and I'll have to check. I know Sharon got it on her, she paid it, so it'll be in there. And I can go online and it'll tell me, when it's due again.
Yeah, and while you're online, it'll give you a option to renew, and Sharon just have to put in the debit card. But so
do we need to vote on it?
Well, it deals with money, so
Right.
I know we're only saving about what, $40 or something like that, but I think it does two things. One, the obvious thing is, well, yes, it saves us $40 over the course of 5 years. But two, it kind of commits us to PSA for 5 years. And I haven't found any negatives in that respect. So.
Well, and we're not really spending any money on anything else right now. So we have the money available to do it.
Right. And I don't know, 2 years from now, the coffers may be low and renewing may be painful. I don't know. So, I really don't see that happening, but you never know. So I tell you what, I'd like to make a motion that we vote to renew at the 5-year rate, which I believe is $180.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right. I'm going to stop sharing and go back to the screen now. Okay. The next thing I had on the agenda was to talk about the replacement of Scott on the board. I did put out a feeler to the whole board, and it was sort of leaning towards not replacing him this particular moment. Some folks said yes, some folks said, well, we're really not doing anything where we need the additional help. My personal opinion is we're already into April. I don't know exactly when we're going to get to start going back to live meetings and need the extra help. And if we replace that person now, they can be on the board for 2 years, which would be the rest of this year and next year. But if we wait until next year, they could be on for that whole year plus the whole year following. That's my personal opinion. Albert said he didn't think that we needed anyone right now. Beverly, you're kind of like, well, what are we doing? We could probably get by without. Dennis, I think, said the same thing. He agreed with, well, we're not really doing anything that we need the extra help. I'm not sure I got an answer back from you, Sharon. And Ellie and I talked
I
about
agreed
it
with
a little
Beverly.
bit. Huh?
I think I agreed with Beverly pretty much.
Okay.
I followed hers, yeah.
There is, Victor, you said that Suzanne was interested in getting more involved, and I think we can get her more involved this year as we start to get back into our normal, when we get back into live meetings, when we get back into this fall, we're going to have some things going on, hopefully. So we could get her involved and get her a taste of it, and then maybe ask her to participate more next year. I think that might be a good thing. So what do y'all think? You want to make a motion? I can make a motion that we just hold off until when we are putting our slate of officers together for next year, and then add that position back in.
If we have a tie on a vote, do we have a majority, or are we now at an even number?
Well, Albert was no, Beverly was no.
No, I just meant like without replacing the position, how many positions are?
Oh, okay, so we have 6. Mhm.
So then I guess you would have to break a tie in the case of a tie. That would be the only reason to have another person, was for that we would never have a tie. But if you're comfortable breaking a tie, then I think it doesn't matter at all. And I would say we can wait.
Hey, Holly,
Yes, sir.
did we leave that provision in the bylaws when we added you? I know the bylaws said the president breaks, when it used to be 6 board members, it said the
Yeah.
president breaks ties. And then we added you, so we'd have it, we added you for the social media piece, which is huge. But by doing that, we went to 7. So I know at one time we talked about taking that out, about the president being able to vote twice. I don't know
It
if
says
we did
it's
it.
under, I'm looking at right now, officers and duties under F, Board of Directors, item 12. A quorum will consist of the board members present. In the event of a tie vote, the president shall have an additional vote to break the tie.
Okay.
Okay,
All right. Well, right now, there's 5 of us present, so there'd be no tie.
right. Not tonight.
Yeah, you move the motion tonight and vote on it, then
Right,
we have 5 people, so.
right,
And we have a quorum, so.
right.
No, I just meant like going forward, if we had other issues to vote on through the end of the year, that was all. Tonight, I think we're all in agreement, but I just thought, does it matter if we had something come up where there was a tie in it, if you're comfortable?
I'm okay with that, because I don't think it's going to be that often that it happens, frankly. I mean, it hasn't been. I'm sorry, what?
I said, we're all in agreement almost all the time.
Almost all the time. So, yeah. Okay. Well, then we're going to move on, and we'll save it for next year, I think.
Can I just say something real quick? Victor, I sent you the PDF copy of the current journal, PSA journal. So.
Okay. And just so you know, I'm being a PSA member, just like anybody else that's a PSA member, I can download it. So, just armed with the information that you found about them being okay with us giving it to people that aren't PSA members, I'll make it a point monthly to send it out to the membership, and I'll try to come up with a way that we can create a archive system that our members can access. I'll probably create a new Dropbox account, and it's just for the PSA magazine, and start loading them up there. And I know with Dropbox, you can create a share link. You don't need a password. You create a share link and you email out the share link. And as long as whoever has that link can go there and see whatever's in the folder. So
Okay.
I'll do that until it gets full.
And then let them drop off the oldest.
No, I'll create a new email account. We'll call it volume 2.
Okay. All right. The next thing I have on the list is fall into art. I don't have any new information. The only thing new is I just got an email from the Greater New Braunfels Art Council, I think yesterday. I just looked at it today. They're getting ready to have their next board of directors meeting towards the end of this month. And they're actually going live. It's going to be over at the headwaters. So I don't know if I will attend in person or virtually. Probably, I'm guessing probably in person, because I don't know if they have access to do virtual over there, where that place is. So we'll see. They're wanting to fill up their committee list. I'm not going to volunteer for anything other than what we already told them we would do, which is the photography contest and taking pictures of the winners and the booths. We still need to get somebody to coordinate. So I'm going to be trying to talk to people, and maybe if you guys know or think, how do I want to say this? We've had other people, I guess Sharon and Dennis, you guys were involved in Fall into Art a lot the last several years. So you coordinated the volunteers, right?
Dennis did, yes.
Yes. And then last year we kind of got Ralph to do coordination of most other event volunteers. I don't know if he's interested in doing that or not, or if you're interested in doing that or not. I know that it is going to be in a different location. It's not going to be in Green anymore. It's going to be over at, well, I don't know about anymore, but this year it's not going to be in Green. It's going to be over at the headwaters. So I guess we need to try to recruit somebody to coordinate volunteers for that whole weekend, so that not just a few people end up working the whole weekend.
I don't know when we're going to be gone. Or when we're going to be gone.
Hey, Melissa, can I ask some questions
Yes.
to generate some discussion?
Yes.
First off, have we committed to a photo tournament?
Yes, that was part of what they want us to do for the free.
But I didn't know if we agreed to it yet or not.
I think we did.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I
mean, I may have on my own, but
that's fine.
you and I talked about it at one point in time, but I don't know. I don't recall how much we talked. I don't think we've had a board meeting since.
No, we haven't.
Yeah, since then. So they were going to charge what, $160 or something? And I had gone back and forth with her a couple of times about how, in the past, we always got our booth for free. We would generally pay, they would repay us after we showed up. It was so that we could, we did the photos of the event. We did the headshots of the winners. And then she said, well, let me do some checking. And she came back and she said, well, this is what we want. We want this and we want this contest thing. Now, I don't know, the contest thing, I don't know if we want to try to communicate that to the community and then just do awards there, or do a mini, like you all have done down in San Antonio, where you say, here's your sheet, it's straight out of camera, go take pictures, be back at this time. I think that could be kind of a big deal. I mean, depending on how many people decide to do it, right? I think it could be a big deal to do it that way, but I don't know. What are you guys thinking?
Okay, so in the past, okay, let's say 2 years ago, when we put the booth up and we let members bring works of art for sale, and we just had to have 1 or 2 people man the booth to sell stuff, okay?
Right.
And the club didn't do anything for the group other than be there to man the tent, okay?
Right.
So it's, my knowledge is that every time the club has participated, people that are members of the council never had to pay for a tent. If you were a member of the council, the tent spot was yours. The only people that paid for tent spots were
Artists.
that were coming in to sell their wares. Okay.
I'm not sure that's what they're doing this year. I think they're
doesn't
charging
sound-
everybody.
It doesn't sound
Yeah.
like it, which means, some of the groups, I don't think we'll have, well, I don't know. I won't even go there. So let's go with what we got to work with right now, which is they want a photography contest and they want us to walk around and take some pictures. And that's all doable. Okay.
Right. Now the photography contest, she wants that to be only on Saturday. So it's just like the day thing on that. There's going to be all kinds of other events going on, some music, some dancers, some, all kinds of things, entertainment from all kinds of groups. And this is just one of their activities that they want to do for this Saturday. So it's only Saturday that the photo challenge or photo contest or whatever we want to call it is supposed to be going on. So the good news is we don't have to fool with that Friday night. We don't have to fool with that on Sunday.
Okay. So here's my recommendation. Okay. And everybody can kick it around. But I think, Melissa, you should go back when you go to the board meeting. You should tell them that that they should add the photo contest as a committee. And Melissa, you should be in charge of that committee. And then as president of the New Braunfels Photographic Society, you should assign somebody within the club to develop the contest, okay, and come up with the parameters and everything. But we don't commit to anything as far as what details are. And that will give us a couple months or even 3 months to actually kick around some ideas and come up with something, whether it's, it's go out and it could be a scavenger hunt kind of thing. And whoever comes back with the most pictures on the list, or it could be bring your SD card back. We'll download one picture and we'll have judge it, and stuff like that. There are some ideas we can kick around. But it's gonna take. We need an inner committee within the society to sit down, kick that puppy around, and come up with a couple of ideas and bring it back to our next board meeting. When's our next board meeting?
July, May,
August,
June.
September. Yeah, it's plenty of time.
Yeah.
We could present recommendations to the board in July and go with it from there.
Okay, so at this next meeting on Monday night, I'm going to call for volunteers for that committee. I'll head the committee from this point. Now, I can't guarantee that I'm even going to be here in October because it's generally when I'm on a trip. I'm looking at my calendar right now and seeing if I can rearrange things a little bit so that I can be here, because I really think it would be a fun weekend. There's so many things going on and they're pulling everything together. that they have spread out over multiple days before. So I think it would be a fun weekend. So I'm trying to look at my calendar and see if I can fudge things around so that I can be there for that. So I'll tell her, I'm going to tell her she needs to add the committee. I'll chair the committee. I don't know if anybody else from their organization will want to help us or not, but I'm going to have a call this next meeting that we need probably at least 2 more, if not 3 more people to help with that, because I don't want to do that by myself. I've never done a photo contest. So we need somebody who's, got a little bit more experience, at least in participating. Yes.
Question. So are we just wanting to do like community outreach by participating in this event like we did 2 years ago and not try to sell any of our own stuff? Is that
Well, that's a good question. Do we want to try to sell our art? Now, if we are going to do that, then we are going to have more manpower to make sure that nothing grows legs and to be able to take in money somehow.
Because I think $160 doesn't sound like that much money to not have to do all of this photo contest and managing the whole entire event, photographing it. I'm saying let's just pay our $160 and go have our tent.
I kind of agree with Holly. Photo contest would be great, but I don't even know how we'd publicize it. I mean, it would have to be.
Well, we'd let them do the publication. That's what they are there for. This is the whole idea of them wanting to do this stuff is community outreach to get youth involved in photography or whatever else is going on in the community. And let them do the advertisement. They are there. She explained the Greater New Braunfels Art Council to me as that they are there to help all of us. They're there to help all the arts. So our membership gets them to help us. So if they want to do this, I think we can put together something and let them do the advertisement.
Well, Victor did such a great job a couple years ago with the headshots and we had a lot of people join up after that. Half a dozen, 8 people, I think, like, hey, I met Victor and I talked to somebody here and I'm interested in joining. It was a really great way to meet a lot of people who are interested in photography. And I loved his idea of like a scavenger hunt. That sounds really easy as opposed to go straight out of camera, which requires a judge. That's a great idea. So if we are going to do that, something simple is definitely the way to go.
Right. And it could end up being that it's not even really out of camera, so to speak. It might just be their cell phone camera because a lot of people don't carry a camera anyway.
But Melissa, this is supposed to be an event for kids, right?
It's for everybody.
Okay. I thought it was just strictly for kids.
She initially had said youth, middle school and high school.
Yeah.
But we could make it whatever we want. I mean, frankly, I think that we should drive how we want. They've asked us to do something. I think we should drive how we do that. So if we are going to do a scavenger hunt, which it might be fun and it might be the simplest thing that we can do, and it might generate some interest, I don't know, but unless they do a lot of advertisement, no one's going to come there with your camera. I wouldn't. I mean, if I went, I didn't last time. I didn't bring my camera. I worked the booth the one time that I was there. I didn't bring a camera. I don't want to have to hold on to something like that.
Okay. Well, I think Holly brings up a very good point. As a board, I think the first order of business is for us to decide, do we do this or do we just pay the $160 and have our tent and do what we want to do? And once we decide those two things, because if we go, no, we want a free tent, then what we're going to do is kind of driven by the council. So, yeah, and if we pay $160, we can still do what we want to do. And if that's the route we go, then we need to decide, what do we want to do? Do we want to do outreach? So we come up with some things to do outreach while we're there, or do we want to let members sell stuff? And probably, I don't know, maybe to not either the 5 of us decide tonight, because when is the meeting? You have to go-
April 27th, I think. Let me see.
Okay,
So I got some time.
okay, so it's either we decide tonight and go that direction, or we open it up for the general membership to decide which way they want to go. And if they want to sell their, whether they want to sell their stuff or whether
Yeah.
they want to do outreach. Okay.
I'm not sure they're going to want to do that. They're, you know, from Sharon and Dennis, you know more than I do because you've done this so many years. But the year that I was there working the booth, we did have quite a bit of folks' art, but we didn't sell hardly anything.
One piece.
One piece, right? One piece. And I
And
mean,
we sold that to Amanda from Digital Pro Labs.
Oh, wow.
yeah.
That's all we
Well,
sold.
even the year before, there were only like 2 or 3 pieces that were sold. You're
And
gonna
it's-
sold it.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of work to sell one piece.
Yeah.
And I don't know how we handle it, because you almost have to have some kind of a Apple Pay or something to be able to handle that, right?
Right, we had a square, and the problem with the square is we had to teach pretty much one of either Homer or Sandy or Dennis or I had to be there, because otherwise you had to teach and give the square and Sandy's phone to somebody else, and it was,
The pain in the hiney, it sounds like, frankly.
yeah.
So is the consensus that we probably just want to do outreach?
Outreach, if
To
we,
be
yeah.
honest with you, I think we get more bang for our buck doing
Right.
outreach
Yeah.
than we do selling stuff.
And we did display some of our art. I mean, we had the 2 things up just to bring people in and so people could look, but we didn't sell it. We just used it as to draw people in.
Right.
And then we had the
People would stop and look at it and we
Right.
would engage.
right.
Okay. Well, okay. I said my 2 cents. Rest of y'all need to chime in on what you think.
Okay, so do we want to do it?
My feeling is it's a lot of work and we barely get the tent covered. We have to have people for setup, we have to have people for takedown, we have to have people there all the time. And to get enough volunteers, our group is bigger, but because we haven't been meeting, I have no idea if these are people who are going to raise their hand and say, I'll do it. I don't know, because I don't know these people.
Right,
Names are like in the cloud somewhere for me.
right. And I mean, and because we haven't been meeting, it's been really hard to even discuss it because no one wants to still go out to some extent. Anyway, even though we know that's out in the fall, I think it's hard to get the volunteers.
Now, I think if they wanted to have I don't think we'd have any trouble taking pictures. You know, Dennis and Ralph could take enough pictures in a day to fill their needs as far as picture taking. The contest is what bothers me.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a lot of work. Now, I think we could certainly supply judges for a contest. I don't think that's a big deal if they decided what they wanted, and we could even have some people giving some ideas. But to shoulder the contest on a club that we just don't know how it's going to respond, I don't know.
And the fact that 20% of the people always do 80% of the work.
Well, yes,
In fact.
that.
So
Maybe a third option is to not participate this year.
yeah,
And
that's an option.
take a back seat and wait for next year.
Yeah. That is an option.
maybe we do, I mean, Monday's just a few days away. Maybe we do need to take it to the club and see if people want to do it. Because if people don't want to do it, then it'll be Dennis and me and Sandy and Homer and, you know, Victor and, you know.
It'll be us. And you know, I don't mind pulling a shift, but I don't want to be tied to a booth for an entire day. Nobody does.
Well, it ends up being a good part of 3 days because we
Yeah.
end up helping to set up and take down, and then we
Right.
pick up a shift too.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And it'd probably be a whole lot more fun just to attend, frankly.
depending on if they get people out there. That's the other question I have is, that's an odd place. I've been there and I know they're trying to use it more and get more publicity, but it's an odd place for some. Do the rest of you know where this is and have you been out there?
Yeah,
Okay.
I did a
Odd.
recon and I gotta
I've
be
been there,
honest with you, I'm concerned about parking.
Yeah.
Pretty good sized parking. I don't
They
know.
have some parking that's beside of it.
Mhm.
And then they have some parking across the street. But first of all, where it is, let's see. If you are going on, it's the loop, right? So
Yeah,
it's
337, isn't it?
337, it's the loop. And you know where River Road is?
Mhm.
Turn towards downtown.
Yeah, turn right, yeah. towards
Right,
downtown.
like from coming from where we live out in the country, you go out, hit the loop, and you turn right towards downtown. You can look over on the hill and you see that nursing home and senior living on the hill. So you turn right there, and you follow down that road around past the horse estate, go around the corner, and when you get to the stop sign, it's catty corner from where you're sitting at the stop sign. It's the old new NBU. So the New Braunfels Utilities is who owns it, I guess. And they have been reworking it. And they have all these plans. There's some old buildings that are kind of like, I don't know what you would call it, warehouse, distribution kind of buildings where it's like a loading dock sort of with garage doors. And they're getting ready to rework that whole thing and make it really nice for educational purposes and all kinds of things, but it's not there yet.
Mm.
So in between the buildings and behind the buildings, there's concrete, and that's where they want to put the booths. And they want to have food trucks, and they want to have entertainment inside on the upper part of what I said looks like a loading dock. On the upper part of that, where you were there, Victor, where you said they were having the meetings, right? So up there is where they want to have entertainment. Also, they are going to have the dinner there on Friday night that they used to have at the New Braunfels Civic Center. But it's going to be inside and outside. And I don't know how that's going to work. I think it might be hot. You know, I think it's October. It's still hot.
Maybe we let them
Work
do their dry run and
Yeah.
we sit back and wait and participate the year after.
If we don't have a booth, we could volunteer to help the council cover the event. You know, like we could go on our own, you know, like I could do 4 hours on a Saturday to go take pictures. So it's not all on one or two photographers. I mean, we could still support them
Right.
on a voluntary way. And that would be a lot less stressful than trying to manage a booth for 3 days.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because I
Yeah.
still
I
would
think
want to be part of the council.
Yeah,
Right, I think
we
that-
can still support them with
Right.
photographic support. And
Right.
we just look for volunteers to say, well, who can go out there and take pictures, and then we'll give the pictures to the council for whatever.
Right. We can
whatever
just
they're gonna
email
do.
them to the council.
Okay.
That might be a really good compromise, actually. If we just put together like a schedule of time for Saturday and Sunday, and then get people to sign up to just go out there and photograph and not even have a booth.
Yeah.
We could even hand out flyers.
Yeah, I think I'd
Yeah.
get our new
Yeah.
logo on a little business card and hand it out too. That would-
Right. That's a good idea too, because actually, I'm part of a dance group in New Braunfels, and I had asked her if she was interested in having that dance group do a performance. And she said, yes, do it, and make sure you bring your business cards. So yeah, we could hand out business cards with information on it while we're out there taking photographs. And then not even have a booth, and it'd be a lot less stressful.
So
And-
Melissa, I think, I mean, having been on the council for the 2 years and knowing how they work, I think based on what we've just discussed, when you go to the meeting, you tell them that you'll be the committee chairman for the photographic support committee, and you'll pull volunteers from the society to fill that and that'll be our support to them, and don't jump on any other committees.
Oh, I'm not planning to, believe me.
But
They want a lot of support.
it needs to be
Do it.
written, you know, put to them in such a way that, okay, you're in charge of a committee. Here's a committee that you're in charge of, so that the organization looks like we're you know, we actually have our name on a line as doing something.
Okay. Sounds good. So do we need to vote on this?
Well, was everybody?
What do you think?
So if this is the way we're going to go, which I think we're all going to vote the same way, but are we just going to make this an information? We'll just bring it up at the meeting on Monday and say, this is what the board has decided because it's an uncertain event and we're not sure about and so we thought this would be the best way to blah, blah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I move that we go with the plan to support the Greater New Braunfels Art Council by taking photos, members of our club taking photos, but not have a booth this year.
A second.
Second. Okay.
Okay. Question before we actually vote.
Okay.
Okay. Is there an entrance fee to get in?
There,
As an
yes, there will be, but I don't know what it's going to be yet. She hadn't told me, but
Okay.
yes, there would be an entrance fee.
But I'm
But
assuming people with tents don't have to pay, right?
I would assume, and if we're still going to give them support and we come there as, what do they call that? Media,
Right.
then we should not have to pay if we're coming there to work.
Exactly. So whoever, you know, we fill out a volunteer list of who's got what time slot, and we, you know, we can provide that to the council, or the council can say, well, here's X number of name tags, you know,
Mhm.
or we can say, we'll make the name tags for our folk volunteers that say
Mhm.
media support,
Right.
and they get in for free.
Yeah. Because I don't think that if we're going to go to work, then you should have to pay.
Exactly.
Volunteer work for other organizations. And I teach dance at our Canyon Lake Recreation Center, and that is a volunteer job. I don't charge them for my time, but I also don't pay them to use the facility when I'm teaching. So, but I know people who have in the past, and I'm like, well, no, that doesn't make sense to me. Why should I volunteer and then pay you too? So yeah, so there'll be some more negotiations there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So go ahead, call for the vote.
Okay, call for a vote. All in favor of doing what we just said we're going to do.
Aye.
Okay, unanimous. It passes. All right. I feel better. Thank you guys. All right. The next thing on the agenda is to talk about resuming live meetings, the pros and cons of that. Victor did some homework for us and talked to the library and to the senior citizen group. Victor, you want to fill them in on that?
Sure. I contacted the library, and the library says that they right now have no plans to open up the meeting room to organizations. They're using it for so that they can do COVID distancing and putting things that need to be cleaned and stuff like that. But they said they did plan to relook and think about how to move forward at the end of May, going into the summer. I guess that's when they're going to come up with what summer program they are going to try to do or not do. The senior center, oh no, wait a minute, I take that back. I got them confused. The library is August. Okay, it's going to be August before they even consider what they're going to do with the meeting room. The senior center is hoping to come back to some form of having events either at the end of May or the 1st of July. And Linda is going to call me as soon as the board that oversees the senior center comes up with an update or makes a decision. So basically, those two places, we wouldn't even think about looking at them until September or July. Okay. I also called GVEC. They have in Seguin, they have a pretty big meeting room. So I called them to see if they were opening it up to organizations, and currently they're not. I called the Shirts Library because when I ran the Shirts Club, we would meet. Well, we met at the GVEC in Shirts, but before that, we also met at the library. I contacted them, and they have no plans to open it up to organizations currently. So the other place that I checked was I went to, oh gosh, what's the name of that? What's the name of the place that has the buffet, all you can eat?
Oh, Golden Corral?
Yeah, Golden Corral. They got a meeting room in the back that holds 50 people. And they're willing to let us use it if we can guarantee 30 people will buy a plate.
That's not happening.
So, and then
I'm not eating at Golden Corral. No,
well,
I don't eat there anyway. I'm on buffets right now.
Okay. Point taken. But it's a meeting room that's currently being offered up for use. Okay. But he did tell me that because in the summertime they get so busy that magic number of 30 goes up to 50. So,
We don't even ever have that many people
I know
in our meetings.
Yeah. So
I have a
we've
thought.
ever had 30 people, right?
No. I have a thought, and I could do some checking on this. And I don't know how y'all feel about this because I don't know how many people live out close to where I live. Some people live in New Braunfels, so maybe it's turnabout, y'all come this way for a little bit, but then there's other people who live further around, right? The Canyon, what's it called? It's CRRC. It's the Community Resource and Recreation Center is what it stands for. And it's here in Canyon Lake on the dam access road. There's a gymnasium there. Currently, they're not really open in the evenings, but they could be. And it's a huge gym. Now, they do have Wi-Fi, but I can't guarantee that it's going to be good. I've never used it because usually I'm only in there for a dance class. And it's not long enough for me to really need to. But it is a big room. And if that room's not available, they have a community center, which is like a double wide trailer. And there are chairs in there as well. So we could possibly use one of the two of those. We'd have to pay rent though, most likely, I'm guessing.
And we'd have to
I
be
mean,
able to
it's-
show pictures too.
Yeah, and you have to be able to show pictures. So, I mean, it would have to be on, I think they do have some audio visual, like pull down. I'm not for sure. So do we have our own audio visual equipment?
We have,
We have a
screen,
projector, right?
and
Yeah.
I have a projector that we were using. You know, and I think Ralph has a projector, an older one that we were using. So that's what we got.
Yeah, so I don't know if there's a screen or not. I know in the community room, it's just blank walls. So you could project on the wall. The gym, there's not a real good place where the wall's just blank. So I don't know. I don't know if I would have to ask if they have a screen. And I don't know what they might charge us. I know that for a class, for an hour-and-a-half class, it's $3 a person. I don't know whether they would charge us or if they just let us use. Probably they wouldn't let us just use it because they had a big deficit last year. But it is an option. Or here's the other thing. We keep doing Zoom. Even if we do go back to some of those places, we're probably not going to be able to do Zoom and live meetings at the same time. So we might have to just video, which is another whole issue, right?
Yeah, I think, well, at the library, I think we could do a Facebook Live and maybe even a Zoom. I will say in my head, I've kind of worked it out, but we would really need to actually go to the library and
Practice.
see what the actual
Mhm.
mechanics would be.
Right.
Plus, we're talking, we probably need to get a video camera because I'll be honest with you, I don't like the idea of my mirrorless camera or, you know, running for 2 hours on video when it's only designed to run 30 minutes and they say turn it off. So
Let's shoot ourselves. Some of our cell phones have got really good video capability. If we could get a little tripod for it, just have it record on a cell phone.
that's true.
For 2 hours though?
Yeah, we could, you know, we could run a power adapter to the cell phone. And if we did that, I don't know how Zoom would work. I think a better option would be the Facebook Live option would be better if we use a cell phone.
And if we're videoing to post later, we're going to probably have to have some kind of microphones because unless, I don't know how if depending on the distance, not everybody speaks up.
Right. We would need at least, well, we need at least one wireless mic that whoever's leading the meeting could speak to. And then when people had questions or wanted to say something, whoever's leading the meeting could hand them the microphone and they could say their piece. I mean, that's doable. There's some.
I've got one. This little tiny thing right here, it's called Instamic. It was a like Indiegogo a couple years ago, and you can clip part of it on your And it has an app that runs with your phone too. So I'd be happy to donate that. I've never used it.
Cool.
So the thing is, if you've never used it, you should try it.
Yeah.
I use a mic that I put on my head when I'm teaching that has a mic that goes right in front of my mouth. Okay, frankly, I'm not sharing that with anybody else because it's right literally in front of my mouth.
Yeah.
I have had others that have clipped on my shirt and it's down here below your neck and nobody can hear.
I'll test it out.
Yeah, so try it. If it's oftentimes if it's down here or it's, you know, if it's not where you can project into it, sometimes they don't work very well. You can't hear. But it might be good enough that we could hand it to people and they could hold it to talk into as opposed to clipping it on themselves.
I'll send you guys the link for the specs if you're interested in it. And probably not, but I'll test it out and see how good it is. But SLR Lounge backed it and featured it. So it's made specifically for photographers who use video on their cameras.
Okay.
Because is there another piece to that can be plugged into a camera?
That I don't remember. It streams. So what you do is you like do when you're getting ready to video, you do a sound marker. So you like do a clap or something. So then you sync it in post.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay, so it might be something good that we can use from that standpoint, at least to hand around when somebody else wants to talk, because you don't have to maybe have to hook it to yourself, and you also maybe don't have to hold it so close to your mouth. Hopefully.
Yeah. And it's got a soft plastic outer case that you could easily wipe down with this Clorox wipe to sanitize.
Right.
Can I make a suggestion?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think at the meeting on Monday night, Melissa, you should ask if there's any video experts in the club that do this type of sound and video, and see if they would be interested in taking part in a committee to come up with recommendations for the club to consider moving forward to keep our meetings on social media.
Right. Beverly,
now,
can you put that on our agenda, please?
Yes.
and if Holly's amenable, and this is me volunteering, Holly, I'd like Holly and I would head up that committee, and whoever else in the club has the expertise to guide us in the right direction. Because I will tell you, I know Holly's going to do what she can figure out, because I think I heard you say you haven't used it in 2 years, or?
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've played around with it.
Okay. My plan, what I would do is I'm just going to go down to Camera Exchange and ask to talk to the video guy and say, hey, look, I'm a guy, I'm on a budget. This is what I want to do. What's the cheapest way to go? You tell me what, and he's going, well, you probably need this. I've watched a lot of YouTube videos, and when this first started and everybody was Zoom, oh, we got to Zoom, we got to do this. And you couldn't find a big monitor at Best Buy for the longest time. You couldn't find the little boxes to transfer video to your computer for like 6 months. Now it's all back in stock, and it's all cheap. So it's doable.
I'm totally willing to meet at the library and test things out ahead of time before we actually go back to live meetings or wherever we meet up.
In the we could just go to the lobby and just sit on the chairs right there in the I don't know if they're letting people even in. Are they letting people in the library?
I don't know.
Our library, sorry,
Do what?
Yeah,
our library is open for getting books and things. They just don't have any meeting rooms open, but
Okay.
yeah,
but you
that's a
can-
good question. We do have the Ty Preston Library, and they do have meeting rooms. I don't know how big they are though, Sharon. Do you know how many they would
They-
hold?
they have a couple that are smaller and they have one that's a good sized meeting room, but I don't think they're allowing
Letting
video
anyone?
chat.
Okay. Yeah, I wonder if we should check with them about
Well-
when they might.
I tell you what, if it's amenable to you, okay, Holly and I can head up a subcommittee, okay, to get deeper into this. And
Okay.
with the help of anybody that speaks up at the meeting on Monday night, and then we can address it, well, not knowing how soon we can actually meet in person, I don't know what our timeline is, but we can certainly start moving forward on it. And if Holly's amenable, once we have a plan of action or a possibility, which we have with what Holly already has, we could meet at the library there in New Braunfels as long as they're letting people into the lobby. And we can just try to set up a, makeshift kind of thing between two chairs, and see how the Wi-Fi works and whether we could do a test or something like that. So if,
Okay.
if you're
Sounds good.
amenable to that.
Yeah. I think that's a good idea if you guys are both willing to
Sure.
get
I
that
love
bull by the
technical
horn.
challenges. They're kind of fun.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, sounds good. Well, Holly, could you check with the library to see if we can even get into the lobby or if they're still doing curbside?
Sure. Yeah, I'll come tomorrow.
Okay, great.
Okay. So we still don't know, and we'll tell them we're working on a solution, but there aren't any places that are going to let us meet in person quite yet. So we're working on it. I don't have anything else. This is for miscellaneous business items. That's the last thing on our agenda for tonight.
What the topic is
I have one
miscellaneous?
thing.
Miscellany.
Miscellaneous,
Something,
okay.
Dennis?
Yeah, last year we did a competition in June that PSA judged. Now, we're doing PSA judging every month and we were finishing up the interclub competition well, we've already sent it in. It's finished up. We won't have the results till May, but do we want to do something in June like we did last year, or just not do it because we're already doing something every month anyway? The only difference is that we would give out awards, I guess.
And we have our awards in hand for the monthly for this year. So if you're going to do additional awards, then we probably might need to either solicit or buy them.
Well, my only question is, did we want to do a digital
June.
competition with PSA judging? And it's whatever you guys want to do is fine.
So if we do that, Dennis, we get 30 photos we can send in a month, right?
Yeah, you can only send in 30 photos to the judge, so
Right.
that's what it would be limited to.
Right. So in June, if we do it, it would be a special thing instead of sending in our monthly photographs.
Well, I don't know. We might be able to do both if we get a separate judge. I'd have to ask Nancy Speakerman if we could do two things in a month. Victor, go ahead.
I was just going to throw out there, I don't think they'll give us two judges in the same month. But I was going to say, if you wanted to hold a club competition, okay, we could get the photos together And then I would take the lead on that and get the PSA judge. That way it wouldn't count against the New Braunfels count. You can still continue to do business the way we've been doing it.
Is there going to be a photo September this year?
The current update on that is it's probably going to be digital again like it was last year. But they don't know. If things open up, potentially they could have. They just don't know if people are gonna be comfortable with mass gatherings, you know. Just have to wait and see. We're talking about September.
Yeah, and now I don't know where we would do it, right? Because we had an issue at the Civic Center where we didn't get to do it there last year. And last year we did it.
At the Art Center.
Well, yeah, we tried to do that March thing at the Art Center, and now the Art Center is not there anymore.
I know, we don't have access to it anymore. So we would have to go back to the Civic Center, and there's a specific window to where we could do it. The problem is we can't do it for the entire month because the Chamber of Commerce holds some type of thing, and they rent out space along the wall, and people put up their banners and stuff in front of their booth.
And we did it that one time at the hospital over there at Resolute, but I don't think people were visiting hospitals anymore, so that's not a good idea.
Well,
I think if we're still doing, I'm sorry, if we're still doing photo September and we're still doing, even if it's just digital, and we're doing these PSA quarterly competitions, that we don't need an extra digital competition in June, because we're already getting our monthly ones judged, and then we're getting quarterly ones judged, and then we'll have probably photo September at least digital.
September.
Yeah, I think that will be okay.
Yeah, photo September, I think is still on the table, except the problem is to participate. And I oh, okay. The problem is if we're going to participate, normally the cutoff date is like 1 June or something like that to submit your application. So I would say, or my advice would be, let's plan on it. Let's submit an application. Worst case scenario, it goes digital. Right now, as an idea, until something else opens up or another possibility opens up, is we look for the same dates that we used 2 years ago at the Civic Center, which was like a 2-week period. And I forget which part of September it was, but it was either right before or right after the Chamber of Commerce had their big event. And just see how it goes. I think the first step to that would be to see how many members we can get to commit to actually print something for the show, and whether or not we want a theme for the show. But and we're going to do that, then I could submit the digital images through my channel to be judged by PSA. And then we could, have ribbons for that. And I'd go out and solicit for prizes like we did that year, or other things that we did. Okay, I'm sure I can get Finer Works on board and Digital Pro Lab on board.
Okay.
Well, I won't say I'm sure. I'll say I'll try.
Okay, I think that's a good solution. Let's skip the June competition because we're already doing it, and focus on the Photo September. Victor, do you want to take the lead on getting the paperwork in?
Yeah, I'll take the photo Fimbre project. And at some point down the road, I'll look for volunteers to help with,
Right,
I mean, setup is, if you're an artist, you're there for setup, so,
right.
okay. Hey, Dennis, I know the
Yeah.
pictures are submitted for the quarterly inter-club competition.
I can hear it.
There's
I can
no,
hear
the pictures for the quarterly well, the inter-club competition, those are
Right.
submitted, right?
Yeah, they're submitted. The
Any-
deadline is the 15th of April, and we submitted them, I
Oh,
don't know,
okay,
3 or 4 weeks ago.
okay, so,
We'll
yeah,
probably be getting results in May, and that'll be results for the third iteration plus the results for the year. And right now, our standing, we're tied for second place in our group.
did we announce to the membership which pictures, which 6 photographers were submitted?
Yes.
Yeah, I think we did.
Mhm. Yes,
Was that at the last
Last-
meeting
at the last meeting we did.
for this last one? It was due April 15th.
Yeah. I think we did.
We did.
It wasn't the winners from the one before that we talked about?
No, wait a second. Let me look at my
mean-
slides. I haven't downloaded what you just sent back to me, Holly, but I do have the start that I worked on. Hang on a second.
I can open it up too.
Meeting.
I thought we did announce them. Anyway, we sent out notifications to them. I don't know whether we did anything at the last meeting or not.
Because it seems, and
Yeah,
I'm
Well,
gonna
they're
blame
in
this.
the
I'm
round
gonna,
3 selections ranking. We don't have scores back yet, but they were announced.
For March, I had the rankings. Let me look for April. I haven't started on that yet.
Well, you don't have the results for April.
Yeah,
I know you don't have the
No.
results, but in the past, we showed the
I-
pictures of the 6 that were
Yes.
submitted.
but
Those are in-
I put them in and sent it to you, Holly, but that's as far as I got. So no, we have not announced who got selected for the
Okay.
April.
That's
They're
what I'm
in the
asking.
slides to announce Monday night.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
I think everybody.
We announced it.
We should see, it'd be nice to see the pictures that are going
Mhm.
forward.
Yeah,
Okay.
we announced last month the winners. And I've already taken a copy and wiped out those and put in the new ones, but they haven't been announced. It'll get announced Monday night.
Okay, great.
I had myself in my brain.
All right.
But yeah, we have not announced them yet, but they're in the slides for Monday.
Okay. And then Marty showed me the album on the Facebook group of the pictures that recently got judged.
Mm-hmm.
And we had what, 4 9s in there?
Mm-hmm. I've been keeping track of all that.
Okay. So you're putting the 9s to the side for later?
I've got a spreadsheet where I'm documenting the winner of the month, that whoever wins the challenge of the month, and also all of the 9s. So I'm documenting the names and what the name of the photograph was that got the 9. So I got a list,
Okay.
but haven't been shown those, but I probably need to show them. But I haven't, because they're in Facebook and they can go look at those themselves.
Yeah. And
But
Dennis-
normally I do at least tell them these are the 9s or these are honorable mentions.
Okay. And Dennis, you saving those 9s for future use?
I have, yeah, I've got the results that the judges have sent back to me, and that's in there.
But you keep the digital image too, right?
I have the the digital images that were sent to me, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Victor, I think you had deactivated your Facebook profile right before the big snowstorm, and you're not in the board of directors group anymore.
No, I'm
And
not.
I was going to invite you back in, but we're not friends anymore. So I sent you a friend invitation
Well,
last week or something. But
I don't have a Facebook account.
oh, there's one out there with your name on it with like 60 some odd friends on it.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sam Gilbert is on there and Jim Landers is a friend.
Send me a link to
I
that.
found you too, and sent you an invite, but you hadn't responded to it either.
Okay.
I'll send it to you right now.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Okay. I did a, Facebook help thing. It says, how do I deactivate my account? And I followed all the directions, and now when I click on Facebook, it doesn't recognize me. It says create an account.
I think you can reactivate an old account, but I don't know how to do it. I know my sister-in-law's done it because she keeps going on and off all the time, but I think you can reactivate an old account. That's probably why we're seeing you.
Well, I tell you
Well,
what, if I can find it, I'm going to delete it. Okay.
Well, the only reason I brought it up is that all the albums you've ever created in the photo club on our Facebook page now are empty.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. So like when I wanted to go look at what score I got, what judges comments I got, something from December, and it's just a placeholder with nothing. It says 29 images in there, but when you go click it, there's nothing in there because you don't exist anymore.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so you're out there, but we can't really see you because it's deactivated.
Well, listen, I'll share with y'all why I deactivated my account. I really got disheartened. Well, as a business person running my business, okay, I accepted a lot of friend requests from photographers that wanted to follow me or know what was going on with the business part. Okay. So I had over 2,000 friends,
Wow.
a lot of people I didn't even know. But it was good marketing. Okay. But I'll be honest with you, during the election, whenever you're a friend with someone, their personal feed pops up in your feed. And there was just too much hatred going on. And it really put me in a depressing mood. And one day I just had enough. I saw a post and I just had enough. And I got to get out of Facebook. It's just not good for my mental state. But I didn't know it was going to affect the club that way. What I'll do, at first I started, I'll just start deleting friends. But there was over 2,000 of them. And I said, oh, this will take months, one friend at a time. So I just said, I'll just delete the account. Holly, send me a link to whatever it is you're looking at, and I'll try to find it. And then if I can reactivate it, I will, so that we can get that stuff back. And then I'll just go in and start deleting. Well, I don't know. There may not be any. As long as
you don't know.
Yeah.
I would start by deleting who you don't know. And I'll be honest about that whole subject. There's been two people, one a very good friend and one my sister, that I've had to block because I just can't listen to it or watch it or look at it
I blocked
day in, day out. Yeah. I just can't do it.
I blocked a sister-in-law and a couple of cousins myself. I mean, there's a fine line, okay, but in my opinion, when you cross the line to where that's just pure hatred,
Mhm.
You just don't
toxic.
treat your fellow human being that way. I'm sorry. I'm more than happy to have a debate, a discussion, and respect, and my opinion is that we should respect both views. Okay.
Right. I
And
agree with that.
either one person changes their mind or you agree to disagree and then go have some ice cream, but no.
But some people can't. Some people can't agree to disagree. They want to tell you you're wrong and they're right.
And
Which is what my sister
not
did.
only tell you that you're
Yeah.
wrong, but
But you're stupid,
why you're
too.
lower than
Yeah.
whale shit on the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
Because you believe
That.
the way you believe. So,
Right. And it's not right and it's not fair. My mama always told me that there's certain things you don't discuss in polite society: religion, sex, and politics. And seems like there was a fourth one, but I don't remember what it was. And we didn't have Facebook back then. And frankly, that's the same thing that she was talking about.
Exactly. Yeah.
I just try not to. I have my opinions just like everybody else does, but I try not to force them down everybody else's throat. And I think putting it out there day in and day out is forcing your opinion on people. So
but
those people get blocked.
It just got so heated and so
It's ugly.
bad during
Mhm.
exactly
Yeah.
ugly during the election. I just lost it, and it might have been because of me just feeling bad too. I mean, having the COVID and everything put me in a deep state of depression for a while. So, but I am.
Well, we're glad you're back and feeling better.
I am feeling a whole lot better right now. So, and a lot of promise. So, but anyway, what were we talking about before? Oh yeah, Holly, send me something so I can try to find it and fix it.
Yep,
and I
I'm doing
will.
that right now, sweetie.
Okay.
And the other, I just have one other little thing that our Gmail account is like 50% full because I've never deleted anything out of there. So I wanted to get the board's permission to like go back 2 years, anything that's older than 2 years, just to delete or archive it, because I've never had to access anything more than a couple of months. If that's okay with everybody, to give us some space.
I don't see why not. I mean, anything that's going to be all of our meetings, all of our agendas, all of our minutes, everything's posted somewhere else. So if there's, if there was something that was critical, like a decision or something, you've probably already put that in a file anyway.
So I move a motion that the director of social media adopts a 2-year housekeeping rule.
And have fun with that, Holly. It's kind of a pain though, because I don't know about that email. Maybe Gmail's different, but on Yahoo, it only lets you do like 100 at a time. Then you got to next page to refresh.
It's all good. I love doing stuff like that. I'm a nerd.
I'm going to come clean mine out too while you're at it.
Sure. You else need digital organization? I'm your girl.
Okay. So we don't even have to vote on that, right?
I don't think so.
Well, anyway,
The president just said do it, right?
do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we voted,
Make
right?
it so.
Everybody say yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Do it.
We should add a naturescape slide to Monday's agenda.
I'm going to.
Awesome.
Actually added that, and there was another one. The A. Smith.
Botanical.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
And a couple others that are coming up like early June. I went ahead and told her to add those on there too. I didn't put a slide on. You can if you want to, Holly, and then resend it. But I put it on the agenda.
Yeah, there's another jury day coming up for the Art League too.
Yeah.
in
I think
June.
I went down through June at New Braunfels Art League.
Hey, anybody here been through that jury day?
No.
I did it once way long time ago, like 2015 or 2016. And I got a score of 3 out of
Ooh.
15. And I
Really?
was so offended. And I was like, I don't know what these people, I got things I have gotten like honorable mentions in juried shows for. And I was like, I have never stepped foot in that art league since because I was so offended. They did not know what they were doing. I don't know what the heck was going on.
Well, is it true that the judge for that thing is not a photographer?
It was
Oh,
when I did it. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, I know a couple people who have been juried in. Somebody that I just know kind of online got juried in. I don't think he's in anymore. Scott tried, but I don't know, did he get juried in? He wasn't very happy with them either. He said that they don't know what they're doing, and photographers are the redheaded stepchildren of the art world. So that's offensive, frankly. I will tell you, yeah, I have no intention of doing that.
Yeah.
But I did submit 3 photographs for the new Braunfels 175th anniversary, and I'm assuming they are all 3 there because they never called me to come pick anything up. I'm planning to go down and take a look tomorrow to see if anybody else got anything in that I recognize. So,
Okay.
Beverly, you were a juried member?
Yeah, I was a juried member and I quit about a year and a half ago because I got fed up with it.
Really?
Okay. Okay. Well, that's good to know.
yeah. I know, who is it that touts it and tries to get us to all go get juried?
Daryl.
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 Daryl's
Yeah.
part of it. Yeah, Daryl's
Yeah.
a member.
Mm-hmm. But I don't have any desire to do that because I already have a hard enough time keeping my confidence level up. I don't really need to go in there and get.
You're a great photographer.
You are. And every month I see your work improves, like it can just blow me away every month.
Well, thanks. But this month I didn't even participate. I had no desire to take pictures of glass. And I'm sure I could have found something to take a picture of, but I was really busy with other stuff and I just didn't feel like doing it. So it'll be good to just sit back and lead the meeting and not say, this is mine. We'll see.
Okay.
Next month will be better. It's flowers. I like flowers.
I have one more item on my little notes that I put on the agenda under miscellaneous.
Okay.
It's are they doing the farmers market at Krause's?
So
No, I'm asking, is it?
let me Google it.
And does anybody know what it takes to be able to put up a tent there?
No idea.
Because that might be something we could think about maybe once a year, doing a tent there for outreach as well.
It is downtown every Saturday, 9 to 1. And there are 60 vendors and live music. Let's see. How do you sign up? Vendor application.
Is there a fee?
I'm looking.
I'm sure there is.
So there is craft. There's craft, pantry, farmer, rancher, performance, food truck, grower, pet care, nonprofit. Is that us?
Ooh, yeah.
Home, personal care, prepared, and then there's a blank. We get the art, right?
Yeah, we can do art nonprofit.
Yeah, let's see. Well, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a fee, but I don't see one where they tell us what it is. Because they're not going to let you do anything for free. And parking downtown has changed too, by the way.
Oh my gosh, I see people on the Uncensored Moms of New Braunfels group complaining all the time about getting towed and how they're like the signage isn't good and they're 1 minute over or something and they get towed to San Antonio. It's $300 to get their car back. They're so mad.
Oh my God, I'm not even going to park in that lot ever. I parked in the Chase lot yesterday because the downtown branch is closing. If you all don't know that already, if anybody banks with them. And I knew that they had new signage because I parked in that lot to take my art to the art league one time. And I was like, what? I don't understand, what are these signs? So yesterday when I was leaving, I took a picture of it and then I went and Googled it. And so you have to like text a particular thing to this code that's on the signage to pay with a credit card. And they don't even tell you how much it is. I mean, I guess they do when you go to pay, but I didn't because I was parked in the Chase part and there's no fee there. But they have like about 6 spots and then everything else is paid now. You have to pay to park in that lot. It never used to be that way. But I can't imagine having to get why can't they tow to someplace besides San Antonio?
Right?
Really mad if they took my car to San Antonio.
Right? I know.
They'd probably hear some choice words. Wouldn't be very nice. No, I don't see a fee on here at all, but it says it may take 4 weeks to receive a response.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well,
There is a phone number.
let me throw it out to the board. Is that something you think we should consider?
Well, maybe do some homework and find out what it costs. There's a phone number and the office hours are Tuesday through Friday, 9 to 4.
Okay. Well, what about the rest of you? Do you think it's something worth considering or at least spending the
Well-
time to research?
I
What,
know before the COVID hit, they were really busy on Saturdays.
Yep.
A lot of people coming in there.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it is now, but then it was very, very busy.
Right.
I mean, you couldn't hardly walk through it sometimes. It was so crowded.
I guess my question is, what would our purpose be? Would we be selling our art or would we be handing out pamphlets and trying to get membership? I don't know what you're proposing exactly.
Okay, I guess I'm proposing, and I'll make this clear so that for future things, I think outreach is very important. Okay, for the club to grow, we have to continually be doing some form of outreach. Okay. If you're talking about put up a tent to try to sell some prints, I'll take me personally, I'm going to take a back seat to that. Okay. Cause, I have a website and I have, geo galleries. Okay. And, and then when I was displaying at the Civic Center here in Shirts, I saw over the two years that we displayed there, I sold like 20 something prints.
Oh, that's great.
So, I mean, but as far as throwing up a tent for a weekend and putting out a bunch of work, no, it's too much work for me.
Yeah, and I was going to say, if you wanted to do that, you'd probably be better off going to one of those art
Exactly.
art and craft fairs as opposed to the farmers market.
Yeah. You know, any event that happens in the New Braunfels area, in my opinion, we should continually be looking at to see if there's a easy way to participate for the purpose of outreach. Okay.
Hey, Victor, before COVID hit, there used to be in downtown New Braunfels, they used to do this thing once a month, I think. I can't remember exactly what it was called, but it was like an art crawl sort of kind of.
Yeah.
and there would be music in different places around town. And then like out on the sidewalk in front of, not beside a Krause's, but like 188 and that other place that's down the street a little bit from 188.
I know what you're talking about,
Yeah, there used to be, I mean, when they did it, they would have like some artists out there with their art in a booth where they were showing their art and selling their art. So we might be able to do something like that. And maybe it wouldn't cost like this might.
Okay,
Remember what it was called?
well, we need to start looking and figuring out, because things are going to start slowly getting back to normal. Okay.
Mhm.
And our club grew while we were Zooming because a lot of people that don't drive at night, or their photography outlet shut down completely, joined us. But once things get back to normal, we're going to lose the folks that can't drive at night if we don't maintain a Facebook or Zoom presence. We're going to lose the people that go back to their old clubs that get back to doing what they do. So, I think we need to start doing, looking at trying to do something. And I tell you something else. What's that event? Oh gosh, dog. It's in December, and you go around, get little bitty cups of spiked.
Wassail Fest.
Yeah.
That is actually hosted by the Greater New Braunfels Art Council. I'm
Well,
pretty sure it is.
It's not hosted by the council. The council participates.
Yeah.
It's a city event. The
City,
council
yeah.
participates as a portion of it.
Right.
I think we ought to look at having our own wassail tent somewhere, if they allow people that don't have storefronts to do that.
They do, because our Boy Scout troop always participates.
Okay. Well, maybe we could post up next to your Boy Scout troop and be.
So this year I just saw something recently about some of those events that are downtown like that. And they're doing some of those, but they're going to be a little bit like they're doing that Wine and Sanger Fest. And it's coming up, but it's supposed to be smaller than what they normally do. Now, how they keep it smaller is, who knows? But that's coming up, and that's downtown.
Well, that may be too soon for us to get.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Engaged. But that thing at that Wassail Fest, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wine and Sanger Fest is, so that's wine and beer. Why did I forget?
There's a website called downtownnewbraunfels.com that's got all the downtown businesses and all the events.
Okay.
And one thing I was thinking when you mentioned like the
Found it.
where everybody had the walk and like an artist walk where you're going around, it's like the first Fridays, all the businesses,
Yes.
they stay open late on
That's
the
it.
first Friday of the month and
Yes.
put everything out on the sidewalk to get people more engaged. So they're still doing
Yes.
it.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of, was the first Fridays.
Is that ran by a downtown organization?
I have no
Yeah.
idea. Let's see. Who runs this thing?
Wrong place. NewBraunfelsTexas.org. Is that it?
New Braunfels Downtown Association.
Downtown Association. So you probably have to belong to that association to participate, or?
I don't know. The Wine and Sanger Fest is May 4th,
Yeah, it's too soon.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, listen, Holly, since you said your Boy Scout troop participates in that every year, can you ask some questions to see if
What's involved?
what we could do to maybe do something?
Sure.
Okay, because I'm down for some Wassail Fest.
Yeah, I went the last time, not last year because they didn't have it, but the year before I went, it was so much fun. However, I will say that the Greater New Braunfels Art Council were really disappointed in that. A lot of the folks that participated in it from all the different groups, because it ended up being this humongous thing. Because remember, they were trying to do a fundraiser for something, and they brought in that artist, the really big name artist, the local guy, and they set him up over there beside of that hotel, Prince, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Psalms over there on the end of that street. And they kind of said it became kind of a drunken brawl. And I didn't stay late enough to know any of that, but
Well, Melissa,
very
I can
crowded.
give you some background on that. Historically, the council doesn't participate in Wassel Fest, okay?
Right.
They have caroling on the plaza,
Yes.
which is on a different week.
Yes.
The
And they
city
combined some
council
stuff.
asked the council to combine the two events.
Yeah.
And the council said, okay, we'll try it.
They didn't
see
like
what
it.
happens. And
Yeah.
you're right, the council didn't like it because
They didn't like it.
the caroling on the plaza is about all the school kids coming down,
Right.
caroling, and all the parents coming down to see their kids sing in front
Yep.
of everybody, and not, be bumped by the guy that had too much wassail.
Well, and they were competing with the guy down the other end of the street that was a professional performer.
Yeah.
Which was not fair either to those kids.
Yeah.
So yeah, they weren't happy about that. And they want to take back their caroling on the plaza on a separate weekend.
Yeah. So we'll just have to, yeah, that's a totally different thing. So I know they didn't like the way things turned out during the Wassel thing, but Wassel, that event I've been to that event like 3 years in a row. I haven't been to that. Last year it was canceled. I didn't go the year before, but 3 years before that, and I've always had a good time. But
So when you say you want to have a booth for us, do you mean you want to market with pamphlets about photography, or do you want to hand out Wassel Fest and market?
the second one,
Okay.
the second one,
Some spiked Wassel,
I think we could
adult Wassel.
I think we could have some adult Wassel over on the side for the adults, and we could have some
Cider for the kiddos.
Yeah. So I think we could do both. And I think I don't know if the city would charge us an arm and a leg to put up a tent, but I think for a nominal output of some funds to get some grape juice and some spiked Wassel in little bitty cups.
Some spiked wine.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think it'd be doable. Of course, we got to find out all the rules and see if we've got to submit samples for testing.
Good question.
But I think since Holly has an in with the Boy Scouts, I nominate Holly to follow that up.
Well, my husband's right here. He might know. When the Boy Scouts participate in Wassel Fest, do they have to pay like a booth fee, or like how do they get a spot? Who do they contact? So there's not a fee involved? There's not a fee involved.
Well, at least for the Boy Scouts, they just may not charge them.
No, if you're nonprofit, you can get on the list.
Oh, okay, cool.
All you have to do it for several years.
Ah, so he's going to find out more information for us, but he says if you're a nonprofit, you can get on the list, but you just may not get a good spot. If you show up
Yeah.
for a couple of years, and you'll get a better location every year.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
yeah, I'm willing to man the tent. If potentially we might get 3 to 5 new members, especially that time of year. It's going right. It's just like going into the new year, so. Okay.
Good idea.
I've talked
Okay.
too much.
And then First Fridays, I think that's going to be a call to the downtown organization and try to figure out how they handle that,
Okay.
if we can participate at any point.
You gonna do that, Melissa?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Since you
Can't
got
guarantee
the
you when I'll
meeting.
do that, but I'll do it.
Well, send me the link to that website you're looking at and I'll do it. I'll do it.
Do you have the link, Holly?
Yeah,
Where-
actually, I already have an email in draft form for Victor with that link. So
Okay,
I'll just send it on.
okay.
Okay, I got lost in that conversation. Is Holly?
I'll send
Holly's
you.
Oh, you're doing it?
gonna send it to you.
Oh, she's gonna send it to me. Okay.
Yeah, she'll send you the link to the new Braunfels downtown board.
In chat or in email?
An email.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right, I'll stop talking.
Wow, this says that the Wine and Sanger Fest, which is in May, so we can't really participate, had 7,000 plus attendees last time.
Mm.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else? Gosh, we have talked a lot tonight. We needed to, I guess, right? So let's round table. Victor.
The last comment I got is I am going to post something in the meetup New Braunfels site.
Okay, for Saturday.
For Saturday, it will either be a photography walkabout or a coffee or a combination of both. So I'll just give you a heads up that's coming, and you can expect me doing more of those kind of things for people that feel confident enough to get out. And
I was going to tell you also that probably the wildflowers are coming out pretty much everywhere, but the library out here in Canyon Lake has a butterfly garden if anyone is interested. And I just noticed, so I just noticed today and yesterday, actually, the road that goes up to the library, they have these poles. It kind of reminds me of a fence post, but it's not really that tall. It's short, almost like a telephone pole type pole, maybe knee high, going up the sides of the driveway, and there's bluebonnets all around it. And then if you just go up to the library, behind the library is a fenced in butterfly garden. So not only are there flowers, but there's butterflies up there. So if anybody's interested in that for a walk a day.
and it's the Canyon Lake Library.
Ty Preston Memorial.
Okay.
There usually are flowers out there along the main road next to the New Braunfels Library. Also, I went out there, I don't know if it was last year or the year before, and there's a bunch of wildflowers out there too, generally, but I haven't been out there this year. So you're going to post a walkabout or a coffee or or.
Right. For Saturday, Saturday morning, I'll probably post it sometime tomorrow afternoon.
Okay.
And I don't know, I might be still in Dennis's thunder, but the photo festival for PSA is in the first week of October in Rapid City, South Dakota. And registration for that opens up on the 15th of April. And the way they're doing registration is, yes, you're going to have to put in a credit card number, but they're not going to charge your credit card until somewhere down the line, once they make the final decision that they are going to have it or not. Okay.
So it's September.
No, it's October.
Oh.
Like October, I don't have the dates in front of me, but it's like that first week. But If
Okay.
you go to the PSA website, up in the menu bar, it's got Photo Festival. You can click on it. You can see what the schedule of events are, the different speakers they have. And I think right now the name that comes to memory is Art Wolf is
Right.
going to be one of the keynote speakers. But Dennis may have more info on this. I just know that on the 15th, registration opens. And if you were sitting on the fence thinking about going, and this is something I think we should talk about on Monday night too, to let the members know. If you just weren't sure, I would say register, and then they're not going to charge you card till a certain date. And I can try to look that up and see if it's definitive as to what that date will be when they would charge the card, so, and announce that on Monday night. But just on the off case you thought you might go, you should get in, because things are going to fill up pretty fast, I think.
Okay.
I've already reserved a Airbnb house, and of course they took my money right away.
I bet they did.
Yeah, but yeah, we're not gonna stay at the hotel. Marty and I are gonna stay in the house because we got the 2 dogs, and the hotel will probably kick us out. So because they're a couple of yappers. But that's the last thing I got.
Okay.
The Saturday thing, and then the conference thing. And Dennis may have more info than I had.
Okay. Okay, Dennis, do you have anything else?
No. No.
Sharon,
No, I don't have anything.
Beverly,
No.
and Holly?
Nope.
Oh, you guys just want to go to bed.
Yeah, well, it's not far.
And I had my plasma infusion. I'm feeling pretty good.
Okay, I think that is it. And that's the end of the meeting. So
Okay.
Beverly, you're going to update the agenda, and Holly, you're going to add a couple things to the presentation, and then I'll finish it up after you resend it to me, and add these few little things.
Sounds good.
Okay, so we're done for tonight. Another quarter done. And somebody's going to post this meeting on our YouTube channel, right?
I'll have to retransfer it to
To Holly.
Holly.
Okay.
What I should have done was gave Holly co-host ability, and she could have recorded it herself. But
I do have a record button available, so I can do that next time.
Okay, great.
Okay.
That just
Right.
makes it easier. Like, hey, Melissa,
Mm-hmm.
can you recap the action items that we're supposed to
Oh
do?
my Lord. So
I can do mine.
can you see this?
No, okay.
Okay, so let me see if I can. First thing I see is about the Greater New Braunfels Art Committee, Art Council, and we're going to have a committee, but we're going to renegotiate what they get out of us. We're not going to have a booth, and we are going to still provide them with photographic support. We're not doing a competition this year. We're just going to give them support. So, but we also don't want to have our volunteers have to pay. So we need to put together a schedule and then ask for volunteers. But we can get that started. We just don't have to do that right this minute. The main thing is just getting that renegotiated. Or telling them what we're going to do, basically. PSA, Dennis is going to get us the renewal date, confirm the renewal date. And then we are going to renew for 5 years. I guess Dennis will take care of that. The digital document from PSA, I can't remember who was going to post that. I think you, Victor, right? You're going to start posting that in a separate Dropbox.
The PSA journal.
Yeah. Into a separate Dropbox. Farmers market, we didn't really confirm what we're going to do about that. I can call and find out what they charge for their booths.
Wasn't I the lead on that?
Yeah, you are. You want to call and find out what you want their phone number?
No, I'll look it up on
Okay. Yeah, so you're doing that. The art walk. I was going to do that, I think. Or no, you were going to do that. You said you would do that.
What?
On the for the first Fridays.
Oh,
That's
is that Holly?
I don't remember. I know Holly's doing the Wassel Fest.
Yeah.
Investigating. I can call about the first Fridays.
Okay.
Well, I sent Victor the website information about,
Okay. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so Victor's doing that
Right,
too.
Victor, okay.
Yeah. Let's see. There is a committee with Holly and Victor to work on the video, expert sound, all that stuff. So we're going to ask for volunteers Monday night to help with that. And Holly's checking into that wireless mic to make sure it works properly. We still don't really know where we're going to meet, but that's kind of on hold. And then the photo septiembre, we think we're probably going to try to do a print one at the Civic Center, but we kind of have to find that out. I don't know when we need that. Are you with the Civic Center?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll get into Photo Septiembre.
Okay, and get us registered. Excuse me.
I'm sorry. I should be keeping better notes.
Yeah, I should too. Mine's scattered all over the place here.
Okay. All right.
And then Victor is going to send out a meetup for a walkabout or a coffee and/or. And then I'm going to add some of this stuff to the agenda for Monday. I think that's everything. Did I miss anything? Yeah,
No,
I think that's everything.
we're good.
I'll find out about Wassel Fest.
Yeah. That's Holly. All right, that's it for tonight then. And I'll
Great.
see you guys on Monday.
See you on Monday.
Okay. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Night.
Good
Everybody have a
night.
safe weekend.
Yes.
I get to see Marty on Saturday.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
I love seeing her on Saturday morning. She's my Weight Watchers meeting leader. Love her.
She's mine too, and I get to see her every morning. Okay, you
She's
guys
awesome.
take care. Night.
All right. See you guys later. Bye-bye.